Bargain Bin Bros. Select Fighter, Ben Thomas, Marco G, Big Red, Fotis, Money Mendez, Dean the Dream, Ox Pop. Fight!
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Bargain Bin Bros. It's been a minute, man. It has been a minute. I think like maybe 10 months, if not more, since last we did a Bargain Bin Bros. But with all of the uncertainty out there, figured it was a good time to come back. Also, personally, Friday mornings used to be so good for me, so cushy. Great day to stream and pull away from work for a little bit. And then there was a stretch there where Fridays just got crazy, and so I've got the day off today. So figured I'd jump in. But I'm your host, Marco G, aka the Sixth Scale Scoundrel. I think it was, who gave me that nickname? It might have been Jose, actually. I don't remember, but
did I?
But Jose, Jose Plus, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Like I was sharing with you, it's spring break, had the day off as well, so I was like, hey, let's do it. Let's jump on.
Heck yeah, man. Well, yeah, looking forward to talk little figures here. So real casual stream we're going to have going on. As I mentioned, there's just a lot of uncertainty with a lot of stuff right now. So we'll touch on topics, but if anyone in the chat has anything you want us to talk about, let us know. I think the main reason behind this was there's a lot of, as I mentioned, uncertainty. I'm just going to say that over and over again. And I just wanted to tap in and see how everyone's doing, right? Because I'm seeing a lot of fear from everyone. And, we've been through this before, so just wanted to check in with everyone out there. We got my man, Payne Collectibles.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Payne, how's it going today?
Hey.
It's early.
Yeah. I know, man. Only the sick type of people stream this early, but it's
Are you
really
off
a good
today?
time
Is
for
that
us.
what's going on?
Yeah, I'm off today. We used to do this Bargain Bin Bros like Friday mornings. I mean, my time, Friday mornings. And then I was mentioning work got kind of crazy, so had to put it on hiatus, but figured it was a good time to come back. But how's everything going, Payne?
It's all right, man. I've been trying to deal with this whole tariff situation, and it was funny, right? Like what I heard the other day, like right before the 54% was announced, I thought I had it locked down, that I have a way to do what I need to do without really getting affected by it. And that was my last conversation with my freight company. But now we just don't know. So, which is kind of crazy because I actually have a few orders that need to move next week from various factories. So now I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, man.
It wasn't cheap to begin with. So then, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, it's funny because I'm hoping, like, this is like, okay, it's out there, they're scaring you, they're doing it. Yeah. What I hope is like in a month or two, somebody backpedals or it normalizes a little bit, because I mean, it's not like it's not like your figure went from, if it's a $300 figure, it's not like it suddenly goes to $475. It's not.
That's what you see a lot of that speculation though, right? Everyone's
that's
like,
not how that works. Yeah. So, it goes. There's a lot. Well, it's not that difficult. It goes by cost. It goes by your wholesale, not your retail cost. And then it's going to depend. It's really going to depend because the margins on all these things to begin with were not that great. So being a store or a seller is actually, like, you think you can get whatever, but it's not. Like you're dealing with a lot of people. Everybody wants their stuff, and you're not getting like mad money on these things.
Yeah, that's what I always figured, right?
No, like honestly, if I ship you guys something, and you tell me, hey, this thing's broken or whatever, or let's say you buy an Aragorn from me, and you're like, hey man, the sword's broken and this tunic's not right or whatever, I'll make it right because I'm a direct partner. I will go to InArt or I'll go to the factory and say, hey, this is my customer, these are the stuff, we just need to exchange. Usually it's super good. Like it's super easy to do that. It takes about a month and a half, but it's not a difficult process. But what you guys don't know is I pay for all the shipping. I pay for all the replacements.
I didn't know that at all. That's
No,
brutal.
so I pay for it. So let's say I have a bad month and 6 or 8 people come to me and say they have problems.
Yeah.
So I'm either paying 8 shipping trips from China, or I'm paying 1 from China to me, and then from UPS, and then ground from here out. So like what I'm trying to say is like you think it's a lot, but the margins on these figures, like if enough, if you have enough breaks and issues, then you've just the entire batch is you've just lost money on that. Especially for Hot Toys is different, but for InArt it's very, very razor thin industry. So they're trying to do like super premium stuff, and even though people are like, oh, their prices, like, yeah, I get it, they're not cheap, but at the same time, they're trying their best to keep the prices like as low as possible while they can. But that means like when I sell you guys something, like there's usually not much wiggle room like at all. So
I figured you weren't doing this to get rich, and you were doing a lot of this for the love of the game, right? So it's
no, I think my brain just likes to do math. I don't think it's anything else. I don't know why. To be honest, like there are a lot of days I wish I never started, but now I've kind of been in the game for like about a year and change. I'm like, you know what? I really built up, like there's so much work to build up to where I am. Like, and I'm not even like a big guy. Like, I'm not one of those big players, and I don't want to be. Like, you guys only know me because we're friends. I still don't advertise. I still don't like. I want very small clientele, word of mouth. I don't deal with people who are like gonna fuck me over money. Right?
Yeah.
So,
True. The bigger you get, the more headaches you
right,
have.
and
Payne,
this is
gonna seem racial, but I got to play this for you. I'm sorry.
Like I said, I'm good with calculation.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
I had to do it for you.
That's totally me. That's totally me. Agents be good at math.
Payne, I want to hear more about how this is impacting all your stuff. Let me check in with the chat real quick, and appreciate you being on today, because obviously you're going to provide a perspective that the rest of us can't provide. So
Appreciate it.
We got SpongeBob Square Balls in the house. Thomas, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in here. We got my buddy Mike, the Sith Scale Collector. What up, boys? Hey, happy Friday, Mike. We got Vita in the house. Hey, Vita.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us. Great episode with Vita and Jim on Más o Menos a few weeks back.
Yes.
So we got George in the house. Órale, hermanos. Hey, George.
Órale.
Or Jorge. Jorge.
Jorge.
I think that's George. We got Bob Dylan in the house. TGIF. Tariff talk incoming. Bob, we had to do it. We're going to do it without being political, but, like I mentioned, there's just a lot of speculation, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of panic. And so just wanted to have a conversation to see how everyone's feeling out there, because I'm not freaking out yet, but it's definitely doesn't feel good, right? These things are already expensive, and you build relationships with folks that you want them to stay in business and prosper. And so, hopefully we can find some ways around it. And like Payne said, maybe in a few weeks or months, this stuff's all going to sort itself out anyway. So we shall see. Bob saying Payne, House of Payne. Yep. We were able to secure Payne today. So big get for us. Bob with the super chat. This is for having Asian representation. Bob, thank you so much.
That's funny.
Oh boy, we had to do it. Since Bretta wasn't available, right? Bretta's normally our token Asian.
Token Asian, so I had to stop.
Jokes, but hopefully Bretta's out there.
On here.
Hopefully he's out there watching us this morning, and hope he's doing well. Tighten that budget, boys. It could be a buyer's market too. We're gonna get into that, but we'll see. Yeah, definitely time to think things through right now, though. We got Zach from Collecting Weekly in the house. Just hi, Marco. Hey, Zach, what's going on?
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Hello.
We got Jim Collector in the house. Evening all. Hey, Jim. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey.
Let's see. No pre-orders for me this year. Okay. I guess you gotta draw a line somewhere. But the Bargain Bin Bros, we never slow down. We never stop. We just take a breath and figure out what the best path for us is. Let's see. Equan saying, "Wow, the return of Bargain Bin Bros." Yeah. We had to come back. Equan saying, I'm Asian. Can I have 20 also buy? Wow, Equan's pulling out the can I have it already this morning. You got to ask, I guess. You got to ask. Equan, thanks for joining us, bro. George is saying, Artisan Annie is my last Hot Toys this year. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that because we talk about the uncertainty. There's a lot of panic around that figure too. So we got Boogie Manny in the house. Boogie Manny, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate you, bro. Bob is saying, Equan, meet me behind the Jimmy John's at 5. All right. It's definitely Coach or something, but don't be late, Equan. Don't be late. Let's see. We got Feezy's Figures in the house. Bargain Bin Bros is back. Yep. Again, had to come back. So let's start off really quickly here. And so, Payne, where are you at with your 6-scale collecting? Obviously, I'm seeing this Dark Knight cabinet in the Ecto 1 behind you.
I'm all over the place, bro. Like I go
because last we talked on a stream, you were getting real heavy into the 1/6. So where are you at right now?
I'm still at the same place I've been for the last 2 years. Like, why am I still here? Because on some days I'm like, man, this small stuff is just too small. Fuck it, I'm just going back to 1/3. Then on other days, the 1/3 come in. I'm like, man, why did I buy this? These boxes were so big, and I've got no place to put the boxes. It's a stupid idea. And I do something stupid where I'll be like, all right, I'm buying a bunch of 1/3 for like 6 months. I don't buy any figures. And then later I'm like, all right, no more. I'm not buying any more 1/3. I'm only buying figures. It's weird. And same place. And I think to curb my addiction a little bit, that's why I became a seller, so that I'm busy, but I'm not like buying my own shit.
You can partake in the collecting with other people, and there you go.
Yeah, like not burn my own wallet, but I burn my own wallet other ways, when people don't pay up and I have to pay for the stock myself and all that.
So on that, okay, so you collect it, and if there's anything you're not comfortable discussing, just tell us to F off. But
no.
So you
collect
a deposit. I know you're quickly becoming a dealer for us. So you collect a deposit on things, and then when people don't pay up, you've still got to pay that order in full, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think people understand. Once I place the order, like, there is no cancellation. You are like you're like blood sweat bound to it. I mean, like, believe it or not, Sideshow is no cancellations ever for retailers. So if you place an order and you're like, hey, if people pre-order with you and then you order according to the pre-order, generally you're fine. But when they cancel, yeah, man, you lose. You pay for everything. Yeah, no, you get billed the stock, and you don't really get a say either. They just call you, be like, hey, yo, you owe us money. Oh, okay.
We're sending your stuff, and you owe us money.
Okay, we don't really care. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the tough part, because I know, like, I like to pre-order from folks that have the low pre-order, right? Like some of them have no deposit, some of them have $15. And I always think, like, that's really great and collector friendly, but then I'm worried about them getting burned on the back end too, right? Where it's, as you're saying, they have got no leeway.
I think what will happen even more so than now is you'll just see, like, I mean, I generally only carry maybe one extra of something. If it's something super popular, I might have 2. But you're just going to see that stores are not going to carry as much. They'll just order according to what people pre-order. And then one thing too, you guys, here's the thing about, and look, I've been dealing with this tariffs thing for the last week and a half. It has changed pretty much every few days. So I don't know what Nick's going to tell me. But what I'm trying to say is, as of now, it looks like what will happen is I have a bunch of orders that need to go out this coming week. I may get fucked and take the loss and eat the tariffs, so that people get their stuff. But then in June, it might be back to normal. Maybe like a little bit higher. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Then the other uncertainty thing is, so let's say, and this is already long past, but let's say, for example, we're pre-ordering Legolas today. And again, this is already sold out, but let's say, for example, we pre-order Legolas. The deposit's going to stay the same for now, for the most part. The final product cost might change. Or let's say hypothetical, The deposit was 90, and the balance was 400. I don't remember what it was, but I'm just saying hypothetical. All right. They'll still deposit. You still get hit with your deposit today if you order, but that 400 isn't due till a year from now, year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where that will be at a year and a half. Meaning, you're not going to get hit with the tariff cost until it ships, and it leaves China and it hits the U.S. port. That's when that gets assessed, and it's not assessed off of retail; it's assessed off of wholesale, right? So there's a lot of factors that go into this. I don't think you're going to find any authority or anyone really that can come out and say this is how much your stuff is increasing, because a few companies like that I've seen have come out with a statement like we're going to increase this much and this much and this much, and that's great that they can figure that math out. But what you guys don't know is they're eating most of it. So it just means that if I used to make $10 on a figure, now I make 5 or I make 4. It also means that I either sell more figures or I don't order as much. And if I'm an idiot, meaning if I'm somebody that takes too many pre-orders, all right, and I can't see, this is why that Dark Knight clip. I'm Asian. We good at math, and I don't fuck around with math. If you overcommit your resources, then that's where you run into trouble of, oh no, 50,000 supplier invoices are all hitting at the same time and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't do any of that shit. Like, at least for you guys know, for the 20 or so core customers that come to me all the time, I don't order anything that I don't have the money to front, right? So usually if one of you cancels, and they're like, well, bro, I already paid for it, so you can cancel, but I'll have to, it's on me to figure out what to do with it after.
Yeah, putting you in a tough spot. Yeah.
And it's fine. I mean, there are people who don't really do it, so every now and then when they're like, hey man, I got it, blah blah blah, I'm like, yeah, fine, cool, whatever, it's 1 unit, I can eat it, right? But there are people where like every fucking thing they want to cancel, you're like, all right, we're done. We don't need to talk. Like, you can go buy somewhere else, have a nice day, and go fuck yourself.
And it's tough, right? Because we understand that like economic realities change for people.
Yeah.
And collectors are fickle, but yeah, I guess you've got to understand the impact that it's going to have on, those folks that are selling the figures, and especially and if this is a demeaning term, then again, tell me to fuck off. But like a mom and pop shop that, is not, like you said, doesn't have huge margins on this stuff, it could have a huge impact.
Yeah, for sure.
Really quickly want to say what's up to Shane 16 Figure Focus. Shane, it has been a minute. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, man, it's been too long, Marco. I miss streaming with you.
I know, man. Same. I was watching one of our old streams.
Sorry?
I was watching one of our old streams, and I was like, man, those were the good days.
The good days, man. Yeah, and things were cheaper.
That's right. Things were cheaper.
First thing I joined the stream, the first thing I hear is this guy going, "Go fuck yourself," and I was like, "Okay, I'll leave." Man. I know, but I appreciate it. How you doing, Mr. Payne?
How you doing, sir?
All good.
If it makes you feel any better, I tell everybody to go fuck themselves.
Oh no, over here it's basically a term of endearment. It's basically saying, "Did we just become best friends?" Yeah. So.
There we go.
Jose, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Shane?
All good.
So Shane, are you on spring break or anything like that right now, or still business as usual?
No, I have 1 more week, and then I've got 2 weeks off, so that's pretty sweet. So I'm in a good mood.
Okay,
yeah.
good. All right. And Shane, would you mind sharing, those pictures that you shared with me, or is that kind of a private? This is sounding real weird right now.
Oh, hello,
Marco.
Whoa.
whoa.
We need to clean. I need to think fast and clean up this. The longer we don't explain what this is, the more questionable it sounds.
It's a 9 a.m. We're doing 9 a.m. dick pics now.
Do you have the photos?
Let's see. I could probably pull them up, but I guess everyone knows that Shane is in the what's the name of the troop, Shane?
501st.
501st. And so Shane was sharing some awesome pictures from a Disney event that he was at. So yeah, I'll see if I can pull those up pretty quick. But Shane, how long do you stay in this costume?
Sorry?
How long do you have to stay in the costume when you're at these events?
Oh, that's a good question because they're not comfortable at all.
I couldn't imagine they are.
They're not comfortable at all. You need to I need to practically dehydrate myself before I get into one of them because you are not peeing once you put it on. You are not sitting down. Sorry, there's a bit of a buzz. Is that me? Or
I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna go on mute real quick.
maybe it's me. Maybe, I'll mute and see if it goes.
Okay, it's either Jose or Payne.
Not me.
Okay, Jose, mute real quick. Okay, it might be Jose. Maybe unplug the mic and plug it back in, Jose. I know there's something weird going on.
Yeah, it's StreamYard, man. Yeah, so like you put the thing on. It takes. I got it down to maybe about 10 minutes. I can do it on my own now at the time, maybe 15. And the short answer is that in a troop, you try and stay in it as long as you can. But you know, after like an hour and a half, it does get quite tough. Like I know some people are probably listening who are in the 5-1st who can just like spend the whole day in it, and she's more power to them. But like last night was a long one. We're in the suit for about maybe 3.5 hours. So, but like it was cool. It was like basically Lucasfilm contacted the 501st in Ireland and said that there was an event taking place in Dublin, and it was weird that Lucasfilm contacted them directly, and they wanted to know. They wanted only stormtroopers. Like there's Vaders and there's Obi-Wans and there's a guy who has a fully R2 3D printed that actually moves and makes all the sounds. It's incredible. There's so many great costumes out there, like our armors, but like they contacted 501st straight away and they asked for only stormtroopers, but they wanted like photos of us in the armor and our heights and everything. So they all were really particular. And we were like, oh my god, like, and then Disney got in contact and we we're like, this has to be the premiere for Andor, because we were invited to the Acolyte.
Bix is going to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were invited to the premiere for Andor, and while there was no celebrities there, it's like you got to watch we were invited to the premiere, the Irish premiere of the Acolyte, and we got to watch the first 2 episodes. But like that's 2 hours of my life that I'm not getting back. Whereas the Andor, we were like, this is going to be incredible because I just love the verse and we were all really excited. But like it turned out it wasn't that at all. It was just like celebrating 5 years of Disney Plus, and we just had to stand out in this kind of Andor promotional area for 3.5 hours. That was cool, like, but it's you're very restricted about what you can and can't do when Disney and Lucasfilm are concerned. We weren't allowed to bring our blasters, like, which is what do you do with your hands? Like, so, yeah, so.
And this is you on the right, you said, yeah?
Yeah, on the right, yeah. So, and actually, to be honest, it's hard enough. There's only little nuances in the outfit that I'm like, yeah, that's me. Because typically, you kind of, the things that you're like, oh, that's a bit wrong. Like, if you look at my left shoulder, the armor pad is very, very slightly out because the Velcro came a little bit loose. And little things that I noticed, or maybe someone who's in the 5-1st. But it took me a while to go, yeah, that is me. Like, but it's unfortunately, it's the imperfections in the way you put on your suit that day, or the things that tell you it's you. But I was still pretty cool, like, so
yeah, really awesome, Shane. And so Jim Collector's asking, taking a leak easy or a Death Star size challenge?
Doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. That's like why besides like the Shore Trooper being one of the coolest armors ever, that's an advantage of it, because if you go for a Shorey, you actually have pants you're wearing from basically your waist to your knees. There are shin guards, but you can sit down. So if you need to take a break or go to the bathroom, you can do that. But with the Stormtrooper, no, you more or less have to de-kit.
Wow. That's, really awesome that you get to do stuff like that, Shane. Oh,
it was fun.
No, we don't need to just see me. Oh, there you go.
You look lovely.
Well, a little rough, a little early this morning. But, Shane, appreciate you joining us. So let's get into our first figure here. And let's see. Boom. A lot of controversy over this one. I personally think it looks fine, but we just don't know the extent of issues that this one's going to have. So let me start with Shane here. Shane, is this one that you're getting?
Well, Marco, shameless plug. I have no interest in this figure, but I did hop on the waitlist ages ago and got a waitlist conversion, and I've decided to give this away to someone in my subscribership. So yeah, that giveaway is taking place whenever Sideshow ship it out to me, and we'll do a massive duck race. It's probably about 100 ducks, but yeah, everyone will have a fair chance. But yeah, you kind of summed it up there, Marco. You said it looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think fine was the hype that this figure was sold to us with. Yeah. I'm not talking about the... I know Mandy Burton got this and it was glue on the forehead. I'm not talking about the QC issues, because every company has QC issues. I get that. And I think when there's more QC issues than actual figures turn... Like, let's say there's a batch of 1,000 figures and, you know, there's a considerable percentage of them having issues, then it's like, okay, that's a real QC issue. So if I push them aside, push the QC issues aside, the way that figure looks in those blogger images is definitely not as good as the prototype. And I know there is typically always a bit of a slip from prototype to product. That's something, unfortunately, I've come to accept. But I think the better figures are ones that have no slip or very minimal slip, maybe 10% or something. But I think if you love this figure, you'll probably tell yourself, yeah, it's not as good as the prototype, but it's probably still a 8 or 9 out of 10. But I think maybe kind of a more unbiased opinion, because I don't have maybe any interest in it, and I'm definitely not trying to hate in it, because I know that people are saying this is shit, and I don't think on any level you can call it shit. However, I do think it's probably a 7 out of 10 at best. I think the sculpt is not as good as the prototype, and I think the hair as well, it's definitely not as good as the prototype image. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's an absolute failure, but so far I don't think the Artisan line is living up to be what it was advertised to be. I don't know, what's the only difference between Artisan and a regular figure? It's the hair, and I don't think they're nailing the hair, unfortunately. I do think InArt are doing it better, and I know people say you shouldn't compare, but inevitably, 6 scale, it's kind of a niche. There's a few companies that do it, and you're going to compare it to InArt or custom or...
They're going to call you an InArt cuck if you keep this up, Shane.
Yeah, go for it, go for it. But like, look, I'm looking to my right, and I can see the InArt Joker 4-pack. And 3 out of those figures have rooted hair. And I am satisfied with all 4 of them. They came out of the box already styled. I didn't have to futz with them, because I want the rooted hair look, but I don't want the rooted hair maintenance. And I'm very impressed with how they turned out. And they're never going to be compared to InArt. I think they're doing it better. And I think what Hot Toys are selling here with the Artisan hair is the only real difference between their regular line or DX line and this line. And I don't think they're nailing the hair yet. I'm putting yet in there because maybe they will in future. Yeah, I don't think I have too much anything to say about it. Like, again, I'm happy for the people that want this figure, but I think if they're honest with themselves, they might be like, a bit disappointed it's not as good as the prototype. In the same way that I'm already setting myself up that Hugh Jackman yellow and blue suit, which is my highly anticipated figure, I think there's going to be something which is going to be a bit disappointing for me, and I'm just going to have to go, okay, it's not as good as the proto, but I still like it, so, you know.
Well said, Shane. Yeah, I think that's a really measured approach to it, and really level-headed, and you belong nowhere on the internet, man. You either gotta love it or hate it. You can't just be like, it's...
Listen, with the whole tariffs and stuff, which don't really affect me because I'm going to continue to collect the way that I always collect, a lot of people are going to be kind of getting a bit more level-headed about, do they need X, Y, or Z? Like, do you know what I mean? So, I mean...
A little more choosy.
It's going to have to be. It's people. Nothing is getting cheaper.
No doubt, no doubt. Tough decisions will have to be made. Subpain, how about you? Are you back on the 1/6 train with this one, or where'd you land with this one?
I ordered this one, but my only thought with this is, if especially with like the glue issues, right? If it is a widespread problem, my only thought was, I do not want to deal with RMAs on this one.
Yeah.
It will be a nightmare. Yeah, no. That's really my only thought.
Especially with the Joker, I think Sideshow was saying like, no, we're out of exchanges, right? It's like either we give you a $20 gift card or something like that, or you send the figure back, which is got to be devastating to like be waiting for this figure for so long, and then all of a sudden your only option is to send it back. That's pretty devastating. But okay, so you're getting it, but
Yeah, but only because I don't have the 1.0.
Yeah.
So I think people who have the old one, you don't think you need to get the new one. And I think everyone's waiting for the dark side version. So, um, yeah, I,
Yeah.
mean, I didn't have a problem with it other than the hair thing. I mean, nowadays, I think more from the standpoint of, oh, how much am I going to lose on this one? And I'm like, good thing I don't carry it.
There you go. There you go. You avoided issues with this one. Yeah, it's kind of scary times with the artisan line. So I'm hoping they get it straightened out. Jose, I know you had the Joker. Obviously, some controversy around that we won't touch on. But how are you feeling about this Anakin? Is this one that you went and got, or you skipped on this one?
I actually tried to get this one when it was announced. I went on the queues, so on and so forth. Obviously, I was not able to get it. It was a very difficult one to get. So I jumped on the wait list, but I don't imagine it will convert. I was very, very far down the line of numbers there, so I don't expect that to happen. So it's one that I'm kind of like, hey, I wanted it, but it's not going to happen, and I've kind of just come to terms with that. Specifically, but when it comes to the final figure and the product and what people are getting, there's not really much I can repeat that anyone else hasn't said on here or any other show. So, for the most part, as Shane was saying, it's not as good as the prototype. It's definitely a downgrade. Just depends on how much of a downgrade you think it is. Personally, I definitely think there's a slight downgrade. I did have the 1.0. And I did sell it in preparation, thinking that perhaps I might get a conversion. So I don't have that one anymore. But I have seen side-by-sides of the original. So again, the original came out, I remember purchasing, I think it was 2017 or so. So it's been a while. So it's a little dated. So comparison of a 2017 figure to today, there's definitely still an upgrade there. So while it might not be as good as the prototype that we saw, which again looked amazing, looked lifelike, I definitely think if you have this one and you upgrade it from the 1.0, you'll be happy, at least satisfied enough, because it definitely is better than the 1.0.
Well said, Jose. Apologies to everyone. I've got a new ultra wide monitor and my pictures are showing up extra tiny. So I gotta do some research in between to figure that out. But everyone knows what this looks like. So
are you still talking about the pictures you sent me earlier? Or?
Oh,
that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
in certain
couldn't resist.
You
just lined it up, knocking them out of the park.
In certain lightings, you can get it to look a little bit bigger, but yes.
Oh wow,
yeah.
really? Huh.
Oh,
I
never tried that line before.
Try it out. But I've been monitoring the community and what all the freakouts that have been going on. And I saw someone on Reddit that had like a really awesome, succinct post about like the waves of figure drops, and they're like, okay, blogger photos drop, everyone freaks out, and they're like, you are here right now. And then the first in-hand videos come out, and people are like, oh, it's not as bad as we thought. And then we start seeing more professionally done photos, and the sentiment grows like, oh, okay, this is not actually as we shouldn't freak out like we initially were. And then it kind of comes to, well, now I want this figure again, and everyone's looking for it. And so I think it never got to the point where this figure wasn't really high on the resale market, because I'm seeing over, the Hong Kong prices are pretty insane. I think over $1,000. And so there's definitely that demand. It is scary, considering what we went through with the Joker, and then what we're seeing kind of early on with this. Folks having issues. It's a mass-produced product. There's always going to be, a few outliers, and it's been really tough for us to determine with the Joker. Are they just a few one-off issues, or is it like a widespread issue? I don't know that we've really gotten to the bottom of that, but I would just say with this new line, it's definitely concerning, right? Hot Toys is trying to put their best foot forward, trying to make an impression to take down other companies that have been doing this routing, and I don't know that they're there yet. So the line isn't landing as it should, which is concerning. But these community freakouts happen all the time. So I've got this one on pre-order. I'm really excited to get it. I think it turned out really nice, but definitely seeing those first blogger photos, I was a little underwhelmed. I was like, the proto was so strong. The initial blogger photos were not as strong, but the more you see of this guy, the more awesome he looks. So I think I'm really excited to get it, and just praying that I don't have those issues, because it would be devastating to get it in hand and then for Sideshow to tell you, sorry, we can give you $20 and then that's the best we can do for you. So we'll see how it comes.
I heard they were offering 40.
Way better. Okay, $40. Yeah.
The bigger problem with this that scares me. The bigger problem with it is if you bought it aftermarket off eBay.
Yeah.
And you open your little canister, and then it's got air glue problems.
Yeah.
It is going to be a nightmare because you don't know where that eBay person bought it from. I mean, if it's in the US, yes, it has to go through Sideshow, but what if person bought it from overseas or whatever? Like, you've got like 3 middlemen to jump through now to try and even get that fixed.
You're cooked, bro. You're better taking that hair off and getting it rerouted at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It'd probably be cheaper too.
At that point.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, less stressful as well. But yeah, that's a scary thought, right? Paying over $1,000 or even like $700, and then you've got
anything. Yeah, once you get like $200-300, like once you get like a significant amount of retail, then you got to consider like, wait a minute, what's my after sales route here? I mean, you're gambling, so. Yeah,
100% you're gambling. We'll see how it shakes out. Hopefully these are just a few isolated incidents, but I think, kind of the common denominator I'm seeing is the glue that Hot Toys uses. And I don't think they're alone. I think a lot of companies are probably using similar methods, but it doesn't seem to have longevity. So hopefully they can get this sorted out, because I know I'm excited for a lot of those figures in the Artisan line, and it'd be a real shame if we continue to see the negativity around the line, because that's definitely, folks love to eat up. It's like, oh, something negative, all right, everyone freak out, cancel your pre-orders, and I'm hoping we'll see more really beautiful shots of this guy and less issues. So let me check in with the chat real quick. Go ahead, Jose.
There's a great comment there by Clinton, if you don't mind me bringing it up.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, he says Wonder Woman 100, the anniversary, Imposter Joker, no issues. Jack, no hair issues, but had the hand paint issues. Yeah, definitely did that. Artisan Joker and Artisan Anakin have some issues with glue on hair. I think Hot Toys is just going too fast and cutting corners right now. You think that might be it? They've delayed it so much. They're like, let's just get it out, and maybe they're taking shortcuts.
No, I think they're starting to realize how hard figure routing is, and why it just costs so much more. And think about it, if you have, what was the ES on this one, 2,500 or 1,500? It wasn't
25 sounds right, but I don't recall.
That's about right.
I think there was 3,000 for this one.
3,000. Okay.
I think there was 3,000 for this one.
Think about it. You've got, however, like Hot Toys has, like, they're a giant machine, so they've got 60 SKUs in production at any given time. And then now, if it takes X amount of time to produce one of your normal SKUs, and then now you've got 3,000 units that have to be hand punched. And I think, too, people don't realize that when you're at the factory, you don't get the same people rooting. Meaning, around Chinese New Year, once people go home for a month, some of them will come back. That means right after Chinese New Year, the factories have to recruit skilled talent, skilled workers all over again. And that could be part of the reason why it keeps getting delayed. But rooting hair doesn't have a shortcut. And that's why like InArt gets such a bad rep about it, because it takes them a long time. But it takes a long time to build up skilled labor team to do it. And then also make sure that they don't leave you next year. Because it takes you months to train a person, they work for 6 months, and then they quit. So it's a cycle. It's many things. So yeah, I mean, I want a nice Artisan Anakin and a nice rooted dark side Anakin. Why not? That'd be cool.
There you go. Hopefully they're learning lessons for the way they're doing things now. Go ahead, Jose.
I was just going to say, for me, I feel like if you look at those images, I feel like, especially in comparison of just the hair specifically compared to the prototype, I don't know if they used a different method. Obviously, the color of the hair is different. The seam line is a lot more prominent. You see here, in terms of the seam line where the hair was most likely, put on, it's a lot more visible than it was on the prototype. So again, Bob's bringing up some comments about, they went with someone different. So not sure if it's relevant,
Jose,
but
if you
after
could
the
not
W.
mess with the comments, that would be great, because I was trying to say what's up to Brian Wong. So no, I'm just giving you a hard time. What's going on, Brian? Go ahead. You can pull that one up again.
Sorry about that, Brian. But yeah, if you see here, not sure if it's relevant, but after the WB100, Wonder Woman released an Artisan Joker announcement, Hot Toys stopped working with credited hair artists. So maybe they had somebody, actually do these prototypes really, really well. And then obviously once it goes to the production, they're obviously going through a different method, maybe a different wool material. I'm not sure. But that's very noticeable in terms of prototype versus final product.
Yeah, you never know what changes. And it won't be just one factory doing it. You have to spread the workload in order to do volume and turn it around on time. So yeah, it's just, there's so many things that you can't account for. At least on the consumer side, you won't know. Like even me, after being in business for a year, there's still a lot of things that I'm learning every day about the manufacturing process. I go, oh yeah, now that you explain it, it makes perfect sense, but it never occurred to me before. So.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, there's some behind-the-scenes stuff we're not privy to, but yeah, really scary to think if they're shifting away from what they were doing on prior releases that were successful. Because yeah, I've got this Imposter Joker. He's been great, no issues there. So Bob mentioned that Wonder Woman as well. So they can do it right. It's just whether they're going to be able to stick to that or not.
Yeah, it's hard to get the entire batch to come out like, it's just, I'm not defending it, by the way, because, if you paid $600 for a figure, you should get exactly what you're expecting. It's just the reality of business, I still think. That's the reason why the custom guys do 20 units a run.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying double for the figure or 1,500, but there's a reason why they only make 15, 20 units, but it costs that much. Because then it's just one guy. You can just sit there and stick hair all day. Clinton brought up a good point about if it's glue, can you say 10 punch? So that's a really good point. I don't know how Hot Toys does it. I mean, so far for InArt, I'm fairly sure InArt uses the same sort of hair teams as Queen Studios because of the same resources. So yeah, I don't know about Hot Toys. But that's why I only sell InArt.
So for InArt and Queen, do we suspect that it's still the same kind of where they punch it into a scalp and then glue it on the head, or do you know exactly?
I honestly do not know exactly, but I will ask next time I'm on a call because I am curious now.
Yeah,
it's witchcraft.
It's witchcraft because the seams on the InArt does seem to be a little bit better, right? The Hot Toys, we're seeing them lift up. So I'm just curious if we can get insight into the different methods here.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I would like to know too. Yeah, I'll see what I can find out.
Okay, let's get to the bottom of this for sure.
Sure.
I really quickly want to say what's up to Brick Artemis. Normally I'd throw him the Jumbo, but he's driving, so gotta call him.
What's up, man? Roberto. His name is Roberto.
That's right. Don't get it twisted here. We also got Gio, the movie canon, in the house. What's going on, Gio? We've got Trevor, 1/6 shooter, usually only rooted around the visible scalp areas. Okay. So maybe they root the hairline and then the rest is pasted in, which I'm sure would take longer, but it seems a little bit more seamless again. And apologies to anyone that I missed shouting out there. We got a little bit behind in the chat, so the conversation was a little too good. Rogue One Photography, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Have you in here. All right, so I'm going to move on to two other figures that Shane is going to tell me, Marco, you do not need these, but I'm kind of tempted on both of these. So
oh gosh,
let's pull up some of these tiny pictures here. I'm going to start number one with this.
The tiny pictures, the ones that you sent Shane, or?
Oh, that's right. Not those tiny pictures.
Somebody think of the children.
That's right. Got plenty more.
Avert your eyes.
So this Deadpool battle damaged or battling version with the claws, with all the additional accessories, the cool base. You're getting this one, Payne?
I have to get it. Yes.
Right? It's too good, right? It's
Marco, you need it.
Oh, look at he's changed his ways. He's realizing this one is a must-have. You getting this one, Shane?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's what I was going to tell you. I'm like, actually, Shane's probably going to tell you to buy it. I'm telling
Yeah.
you not to buy it.
Yeah.
It's
No, I'm not
completely
giving him
opposite.
advice. I'm not giving him advice. I'm not giving him advice. Marco, how many Jokers do you have?
Let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 with the Hot Toys one on the way. So I'll be up to 5 Jokers. And not. This is specifically Heath Ledger Jokers.
Oh, they're all Heath Ledger Jokers.
You guys are addicts, man. I'm just saying. Okay.
They're
That's
all
my
Heath
guy.
Ledger Jokers.
Those are the Heath Ledger Jokers. I didn't get the Hot Toys rooted though. I didn't get the artisan. I just got the sculpted. So
Man, I was gonna go. I've got 7. I'm winning. But like they're all Heath Ledger. Mine are a mix. Okay, because I've got Nicholson, the 4-pack, and then the Heath Ledger 2-pack.
Wait, do you count the 4-pack Joaquin as one?
No, I count them as 4. I count them as 4.
I do love those dioramas, by the way. They're like my
Yeah.
favorite thing about it.
I really like them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bathroom one as well. It's incredible. Yeah. So, look, man. Like I pass on a lot of the things I like to get the things I love. I pass on a lot of things that look cool to get the things I love. There's sometimes when I really, really like a figure and I think the show's okay, or maybe I think the figure's okay or whatever, but I just don't get it because it's not something that I'll see myself liking in 5 or 10 years time, whatever. So I already have the clean version of this, and I am going to get the battle damage version, based on the strength of, loving the trilogy. Really, I suppose now, if it's a trilogy. I know even though Wolverine is kind of, the third movie is kind of 50% Deadpool, 50% Wolverine, but it's a trilogy. But yeah, I want this one as well. I'll probably, like a lot of people are doing, pose the accessories with this with the clean version, and then take this battle damage version and pose it with accessories. The other one, the gold guns. I love
they got
battle
us right
damage.
there. What a brilliant marketing strategy to make us get both.
Look, you make your own decisions. I'm just providing the data. But and I know how much you love data. Which one? Are you a data person or a data person?
Data.
Data. You're a data? You're a Star Trek guy? Okay, fair enough.
Data's more fun to say.
Right. So, I anticipate having the battle damage version of the Wolverine swap out parts down in the movie icons display next to the battle damage version of this with the gold guns, some sort of configuration there, and then having the clean version with the TVA backdrop and the stuff, the accessories that come with this in like the movie icons display up here or something, a separate cube or something like that. But I just really like the character Deadpool. I love the character Deadpool, so therefore, there's other things I'll pass on. But yeah, look, you don't need this, but if you really, really like the character, it can be justified. It depends on how you collect. Like I know Jose, we were talking the other day, he only has one version of each character. And I have to say, as someone who has a very focused collection, pun intended, and I'll talk about like collecting, what's the word, just being selective, I can see where he's going with that. I respect that. That is fair.
Absolutely.
See,
especially now with tariffs and shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I'm the exact opposite, because I'm the idiot that likes to buy the movie. So I'm very excited for the Thunderbolts because I want all 6 of them. And then Guardians of the Galaxy.
It could be really good.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I feel jit because I only got 3 people in suits.
Man, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
even when they were teasing the full team too.
Right, yeah. I was like,
and Payne, when you say things like that, Brian Wong just goes, "Oh yeah, oh they're gonna need a big Magic case."
Well, no, I can't ship to you, but I sell these. I sell Magic cases too.
Oh right, okay. I see what you did there. Shameless plug. All right. I respect the hustle.
You buy from me.
That's right.
Yeah, we do buy from you.
We buy from you a lot.
You
want, honestly, you're looking for no, I won't say that out loud, but
whoa,
whatever you're looking for.
Oh my god! But yeah,
just send him some of those photos Marco has.
That's right.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I kind of do things by the movie or the TV show, so it's kind of like, okay, you gotta stop. This is too much.
Especially with this line, right? They're not even done with this. We still got 2 more from the Resistance, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, Gambit, Elektra, yeah.
And Gambit, yeah. Those are the 2 I'm probably most excited for. Gambit a little bit more, but okay, Jose. So you're not getting this one. You don't need it.
No. I mean, Shane makes a good point. He says, maybe if the character really, really resonates with you and you can justify it and you don't buy other things, then maybe you can double up. And I think that that's something you do as well with the Heath Ledger Joker, right? Like, it's one of your favorite characters, so for you, you feel justified in buying 5 or 6 or how many versions you have now. So but for me particularly, I don't know. I've always collected that way. Like, I've always, if I like the character but I like there's a version of it that I like more, I will sell that version and then I'll get the new version. Right. So I only have that one representation. I mean, obviously there's always exceptions, and I'm not saying I'm always cut and dry about those type of things, but for the most part, I was looking at my collection when me and Shane were talking, and I was like, well, actually, I don't think I have repeats of anything. I'm looking at it and I'm looking around everywhere. I'm like, nah, like, for the most part, I tend.
Oh, you got muted, Jose.
I clicked on the little cord there.
Got a little too excited.
I
Stop
love
pulling on your cord on the stream, bro.
Oh. No, basically, long story short, I picked the one that I like, and that's kind of what I did here. I mean, if I really wanted this one, personally, what I would do is I would sell the other one, because I don't think I need 2 red suit Deadpools. You know what I mean? Like, to me, they're too similar. You know what I mean? Like, if it was the X-Force Deadpool with the gray and the black, then maybe I might be like, hey, like, I can. They're 2 different versions of the Deadpool, even though it's the same character, and then I might justify it that way in my own head. But because they're very similar, it's just a battle damage. Of, like, for me personally, like, I can just pick the one I like better. And in this case, I have the clean one, and I'm happy with that representation, so that's fine for me,
I think that's a good, healthy way to approach it too, Jose. So, so remind me again, where are you landing with this one? You've got the red version, and you don't need this battling version.
No, I mean, I am disappointed that obviously this one gets the head sculpt and those accessories and so forth, but it's not a deal breaker. Like, for me personally with Deadpool, I'm like, I want him with the mask on anyways. Yeah. So, I don't really need the avocado Ryan Reynolds head sculpt, even though it would be nice to have. It's disappointing that this clean version did not come with it. Obviously, if it was already being worked on, it would have been nice to have. But I'm okay with it, because again, more times than not, I'm gonna have him posed with the mask anyways. So, yeah. I don't feel I need this. For me, I'm like, I could use the money that I would spend on this. I could use it on something else, on a different character that I want equally or even more. Right. So I'll use that for that instead.
True bargain bin bro right there, being totally rational, level-headed. So you got the Golden Gun version though?
I do, yes. Mm-hmm,
okay. Mm-hmm. So I went with the non-Golden Gun version, and here was my logic. I was like, because I think the Delta was maybe like $50 or $60 to get the Golden Guns or just get the standard version. And I was like, I'm gonna save a little bit of money there because I know this version's coming, and I know they're gonna give us the Wolverine claws. So I was like, I'm gonna save that money and then put that towards whatever version comes out. And I'm kind of at that point where I haven't pre-ordered this yet. Probably because there's just been so much noise going around. I'm like, maybe I just need to take a second and breathe. But I think this one is probably coming to the collection for the claws alone. And I can probably order that from a customizer and get those, but it wouldn't be the official Hot Toys version. And yes, I'm a Hot Toys cuck for that. But
yep.
What can you do? So yeah, I think the plan is going to be to add both, and maybe I move along one in the future. But I think I've got display, especially like I've got a multiverse shelf going on where I've got like a few Wolverines, maybe some Jokers will even end up in there, but yeah, I think I can display a few of like 2 Spider-Men, 2 Wolverines. That's kind of the plan right now. So let's see what Bob Dylan has to say. Fun tidbit: Riley Lowe made a broken bone shard as bait to see if Hot Toys would copy his set, and they did. There never was a broken bone in the movie. What is this? Adamantly covered bones don't break. Oh, so the adamantium.
Oh yeah.
Broken bones. So they just straight copied the set that he put out. That is pretty wild, honestly. So Bob's.
It's interesting to see how aware they are. Yeah.
Because you see this all the time, right? Like someone will do an awesome custom, and then they announce like a really similar version to what they did. So that's too funny that they threw in a little Easter egg there to see if they could take the bait, and they did. That's incredible. Thanks for sharing.
Marco, just a quick thanks to Bob Dylan there. I assaulted Bob Dylan's Instagram inbox with messages regarding John Wick trivia. Not in trivia, I was looking for. I got John Wick 4 on the way, and I hate the hands. I really hate the hands. I just think they're terrible. I've watched any reviews, and they're just, if you haven't checked them out, they're just terrible hands. And I was asking, like, so where would you get one of those dogs then, and where would you get this? And I like asked him too many questions, but in fairness, he came back and he answered them all, probably reluctantly because I was annoying him. But yeah, so I've got a 1/6 scale dog on the way that I spent way too much money on, and I never thought I'd be doing this at 41, but here we are. I'm still on the hunt for custom hands though for John Wick 4, because I found a guy, but he had the ones for John Wick 2 and 3, and they look amazing, but they are from John Wick 2 and 3, and it didn't work out. So yeah, still on the hunt for John Wick 4 custom hands.
Custom hands, okay. Have you thought about the topo hands at all? I know they've got just like a standard set of.
But would it be missing the finger?
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I'm not caught up. I'm only on John Wick 2, so you could
spoilers.
do that yourself. Yeah, there you go. Come on, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That guy.
Shout out to Bob too.
Paying...
Yeah, go ahead, read that.
Just keep stepping.
Sorry.
Come on, bro.
Go ahead.
No, let me say this, and then you can. That guy Mark, if I was paying for a license and a custom was making money, I'd copy too. Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. If you don't copy, they steal, something like that. Go ahead, Jose.
No, I reached out to Bob. Well, I mean, I've reached out to him a couple of times, but I reached out to him recently because I wanted to get a sculpt repainted with 357, and I know he knows how to do all that process and all that. He walked me through everything, how to do the import paperwork and all that, like everything. Walked me through how to do it on pirate ship and all that, and amazing. So I thank you, Bob, and I'm still waiting for it to come back. They said it would be a few months, but I appreciate him.
There might not be a better guy in the community, a better person in the community than Bob Dylan. Just a true legend. So always willing to help. All right, so we're gonna shift next to the next figure that I don't need for sure, because I've already got two versions of this guy. But okay, so Shane, I'm gonna start with you again. Why don't I need this one, Shane?
Because they didn't put some D's on it. Sorry. I did my best. Because there's no double D's on it, and they're inevitably going to, I would imagine, eventually give you one with the traditional Daredevil symbol on it. And isn't that the one that I think most people, if they only have one, would want? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know your mind. I'd say it's a dark place, but yeah, I think
Definitely a dark place.
Yeah, I presume you prefer double D's in the chest. So I mean,
I normally do. That's definitely a preference of mine.
I think that enough right there is if that is coming. Like, I don't know. I haven't watched the latest season. I don't know if he has them or not, or I haven't heard any spoilers or anything like that. But is it over yet?
No, it's
Not
like
over.
two more episodes, I believe.
Okay, so maybe he gets it this season. I don't know, maybe he doesn't. But I think that's the one that people really are holding out for, because he didn't have him in the Netflix season ever. I don't think.
I don't
he
think
doesn't seem to have him so far in this. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think this was cool. I know some people don't like the texture or don't like the color itself, and I don't know, because I haven't read any Daredevil comics. I've only seen the first 2 seasons of the Netflix show, and I forget them. I've gone back and watched the first season. I'm currently starting episode 1 of the second season. I'm going to continue on. I don't think this head sculpt is great. Not at that angle anyway. Maybe there's better angles.
Dan
but,
from Six Scale Reviews sent this to me and said, "Is that you?" Which I took as a huge compliment. I don't see it.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. He does look a little bit more on the Hispanic Middle Eastern side with this lighting.
Yeah, because he no, you're right, because he's Charlie Cox. He's just a white guy, isn't he? He's like this. Yeah, he doesn't.
I think he might be one of yours.
He's Irish.
Oh, I don't know. He's got an accent. He might be British.
Yeah.
No.
So, whoa.
He's an overseas
different
guy.
places. Different places.
Overseas guy.
The United States map, the US, and everything else overseas. Yeah.
Exactly.
No. No, he's not one of ours, I don't think.
He's from Westminster, so no.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, is he
Shane.
actually English?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
correct.
I didn't know that. I thought he was American.
His accent is
No.
so incredible. Yeah, he's so convincing.
I can't tell if you're joking or not. Is that sarcasm? He's kind of neutral accent from what I remember from the show. I wouldn't pick him up as an English person, but yeah. I don't look. I have no opinion. My opinion doesn't matter on this. But the only thing I will say is I think people want the ones with the Daredevil symbol on chest.
Yes.
So we got a lot of clarifications. I'm getting cooked in the comments. Vita's saying he's English. That guy Mark Murdoch. So Matt Murdoch is obviously Irish. So there you go. The character is one of yours, but we got Big Rib in the house. We got my buddy Ty
Yo.
16. Uncommon Flex. I almost said Uncanny Flex in the
Oh.
house. Mike is saying Irish, British, all the same.
Is this fucking Mike from Collecting Weekly?
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna find you, Mike, and we're gonna fight,
Wow.
and it's not gonna work out well for you.
Show up if you see a stormtrooper outside your door. Definitely run. We got KG. What's going on, fellas?
Hey,
Hey,
KG.
KG. Okay, we got a lot of legends in the house right now. We got S Beam in the house. What's going on, S Beam? Thanks, guys, for joining us. All right, so Payne, is this one that you're interested
I
in?
already
Do you have
ordered
a
it.
Daredevil already? Oh, you already
I already-
ordered it. All right, this one's
I
already.
already
coming.
ordered
Wow.
it because a year and a half ago I sold off my original Daredevil in anticipation for this one, and I had like a whole Daredevil shelf with like all the Susu ones too. So I was like, I love this character, so I bought it.
Yeah.
And if they come out
So-
with the black suit with the double D's, then I'm
getting that
probably
too?
stupid enough to pay for it too. Yeah, I told you, I gotta stop collecting my TV shows. I go broke, but whatever.
You know, that's fair though, right? Like just like I'm a Joker collector, I think you can get as many of the character as you love. They can all be justified. Maybe not to my wife. She doesn't see the differences, but
Mm-mm.
to myself, well, I can justify it. Jose, where are you at with this one? Oh, you're on mute, Jose.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Yeah. What was the question again? If I'm getting this one?
If you're getting this one, are you enjoying the show? Where are you at?
Oh, yeah. I'm
Do you have
enjoying the
another
show.
Daredevil already.
I do actually. I do have that one. So decision time, right? But I don't. For this one, I think I'm good. So I have the yellow and red suit, which I really like because it's very like the nod to the comics, and it's the colors of his dad's robes when he was a boxer. So there's a lot of like nods to the comics and so on and so forth. And I think he looks great with the red and blue Spider-Man if you pose them together in terms of the contrast of the colors. So that's the reason I have that one. I wouldn't buy this one in particular because what Shane was saying, I am waiting for a D on the logo on the chest, wherever they end up putting it. I mean, there is some photos floating around. I won't say what, but of another suit he's going to be wearing. So I'm okay for now with this one. For me personally, and this is what I've repeated in a couple other places, but for me personally, it just feels like like the Venom, right? Without the logo, like the Venom that we got for Tom Hardy without the logo felt a bit like, not the full Venom we wanted, right? Because it didn't have that logo. So for me, I look at this suit, and not only does it not have the D's, it just feels a little MCU generic to me. Like if you look at some of the patterns, it's some of the same patterns that they used on the Wolverine suit. If you look at the toys for the Sentry, that the character that's going to come out in Thunderbolts, it's kind of the same patterns as well by the chest area. So it's like they're like recycling material there, and it just bothers me. So I'm kind of waiting for a better suit, to be honest.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it definitely is kind of generic, but that kind of appeals to me too. Like it's just really
Do you think-
streamlined.
Do you think
Go ahead,
that's an attempt at them to kind of familiarize things into the MCU? Like, do you know the
Maybe.
way in I think is it oh my god, I know it was in Guardians of the Galaxy where there was all these like, I think it was when they went through a portal or something, there was all these like hexagons or something like that.
Yeah, and that became
And
kind of
they
a
were in,
shorthand.
I've seen them in other MCU as well. It became like
WandaVision
almost, yeah, it did become a thing. Like, and I was like, okay, they're kind of like trying to brand it away, like, as I don't know, the physics of that universe is kind of universal or something. Like, I don't know, maybe they're trying to, maybe they're just lazy, or it is strange, right? They're all of the same.
They definitely
cuts
have
or
a
whatever.
style guide, right? They've got like things that they know will work on screen that I'm sure they go back to often.
Well, it's the
And
same guy that's making the concept art, and then they're making the suits based on the concept art. It's like
oh, there
I
you
forgot
go.
the name. I saw it, but basically someone had highlighted pictures of the Wolverine suit, this suit, Sentry, and someone else, and they all had like the same lines, the same patterns, and it's just like, why? But anyways,
Yeah, it's all part of a cohesive universe, but yeah, it doesn't bother me too much. Really quickly, want to say hi to a few people in the chat. A live stream ain't a live stream without King Dingaling, saying the head seems a bit wide compared to the body. It sticks out whenever I see this figure. It is kind of a big head, right? He does have a little bit of a bobblehead look going on to him. Not a deal breaker for me, but I can definitely see that. And just the, I've got the yellow suit version as well, that mustard suit version, and the head does fit a bit weird on that, but it's really cool that they're at least giving that to us, because they could just give us no head at all, which would be a shame. So
I mean, he never really is without his helmet when he's in the suit. You know, like you don't really see him walking around doing that.
But in the
so.
show, he's kind of without his helmet, right? So they're kind of, instead of giving us a version like the So-So one, the lawyer version, which I'm sure would do fairly well, but
Yeah,
splitting the difference here.
Hey, I like the Riddick role because he gets to bang She-Hulk.
I think he got banged by She-Hulk, man. I think she clapped those cheeks. If I remember
And
the scene
either way,
correctly,
you can't lose.
right? You really can't. You really can't. My guy Equan saying, so you have to wait for season 2, then wait another year and change to get one you want. If they make it, just get it, Marco. It's flawless logic, honestly, Equan.
I mean, no,
Flawless.
but at that logic, you could also save the money, buy something else, and then you have money for that later. So it's
True.
the same
Just put
logic.
it into the stock market. Oh wait, that guy Marco saying Hot Toys next move: release Daredevil with double D's symbol and cathedral diorama. That cathedral diorama would be essential.
Oh yeah.
I've got my Netflix Daredevil on the Batman '89 deluxe base with the gargoyle, and it's pretty awesome. So would love a diorama base for Daredevil. Clinton saying the teeth on that faceplate look amazing. Yeah, honestly, all the expressions look really, really good. That's one. I don't know. That's one big reason I would say to get this one. So, really, yeah, the teeth look really, really good in this prototype.
And that's the thing too with you, Marco, right? Like you'd be okay buying this one, and then if they do another red suit with the D's that you like as well for like the Avengers or whatever, right? You'd be okay with having multiple Deadpools in your collection, the same way with the Joker, right?
Yeah. But, that's going to bite me in the butt eventually, right? Because, space is definitely finite, and I can't have everything. But for right now, I'm finding ways to incorporate them into the collection. Yes, we're all waiting for some Ds.
Man, I spent all weekend, or actually, no, I spent all day yesterday garage Tetrising boxes, man. I was like finding extra space and shoving boxes in there. And
for your personal collection, or for some of the stock that
no,
you got?
No, for my personal collection, just so that I can get more shit. It's bad.
With the statue boxes, I can't even imagine, bro. Do you throw any of them out, or you're always holding on to them?
No, I keep everything, so I'm an idiot. I'd probably, to be honest, I'm going to have to move my Ecto 1 because the box is so big. So, yeah.
Yeah, Gigi and I have had the conversation because we had a shed built recently, and I've started to put some boxes in there. And I was like,
How's
I wouldn't
she
be
taking
opposed to... Yeah, she's like, well, it's starting to fill up a lot with your boxes. I was like, I'm open to throwing them away if we acknowledge that, these figures are going to lose some value, and then hopefully, economic times stay good enough for us where I don't have to sell the collection. But just acknowledging that. She's like, throw them away. You're not going to sell shit. I already know you. And so that's kind of where we landed. So I think sometime soon I'm going to be tossing some boxes.
You're going to do a video and everything where you're tossing them in the garbage and all that?
I don't think so. I think that's, I don't think I need that attention. I think I'm just going to, the garbage man will be the one that knows I tossed them out. Mr. J is saying, talking about a Kingpin to go with the Spidey collection. Yes, we need a Hot Toys Kingpin.
Yeah.
It is about time. Mayor Kingpin. That guy Marcus seconding the the Kingpin request. Let's see. Equan is saying, what's up to Geo and Big Rib? Wolverine, Daredevil, and the new Sentry all have the same costume. So kind of talking about what Jose was saying. We got FBJ in the house. What's going on?
Yeah, but that's
How are you?
That's production. There's a reason why that they have all the same base material costume and then they just paint over or make changes, because then your fabrication cost goes down. I don't know if there's a mold. There might be a mold for the plastic parts that go in it. I don't know, but it's a tooling thing. That's why they have to do it that way.
Makes a lot of sense. Yep. Let's see. Gio is saying, I read an article. Kingpin cannot currently appear in any film projects due to rights, only TV. Not sure how accurate that is. Yeah, I think it was the actor that was saying that too, right? So
Yeah, I believe because it was, isn't it being shared? The Kingpin rights are being shared with Sony, right? Because it's part of the Spider-Man. But I think it's interesting how those rights.
oh, your mic cut out again, Jose.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
All right.
You're too expressive, man. You're being too Latino right now. You gotta take it down a little bit.
Just sometimes it's just based on their first appearance. Like so, if their first appearance was in Spider-Man, so on and so forth, then sometimes he will be part of the Spider-Man library. But if he's like his first appearance was somewhere else, but again, it's like then they might sell off just individual rights and so on and so forth. So it's weird. I think Kingpin at one point he was being shared by Fox and Sony, and then when Fox was obviously taken over by Disney, I think now it might be a shared thing with Disney and Sony, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, these are all things that money can fix for sure. So I'm sure restrictions right now, but SBeam is saying double D's, Pams, or Dollies. Oh boy, those are. That's next level. That's next level right there. Let's see. Mike is saying Kingpin is originally a Spidey villain, so he's tied with the Sony verse. Yeah, it makes sense. But there's ways around all these things.
Yeah. Well, Spider-Verse used Kingpin, as you recall, in the animation form.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys, let's talk about another Hot Toys figure here. We're not trying to go too long today. I know folks got things to do, so let's talk about this one here. And then this would be another duplicate, I know, for a lot of us. So, again, Shane, I'm going to start with you. I know you've got the Mando Ahsoka. Is this one that you're getting? Do you already have the CCFLs ordered for it? Where are you at with this one?
You can see her right there.
Mm-hmm.
She's right there. So it's very small. So that's the Mandalorian version. I'll keep it short. I loved Rosario Dawson's first live action appearance in The Mandalorian Season 2. One of the best pieces of Star Wars content ever, especially that opening intro with the kind of greenish fog and those kind of weird droid things trying to hunt her, and she was just like ninja level out, coming out of nowhere, tearing people apart. I loved everything from the cinematography to the sound engineer, the lightsabers, to the choreography, the fight between her and Mando, just awesome. But I didn't particularly like the Ahsoka show, and I really very, very polar opposite opinions on that media. But she was a triple threat from the show. I loved the character in the show in The Mandalorian. Loved that version, and I love the source material, whatever. But if I be honest, the head sculpt on it, the one I have, it isn't as good as this. I think I'd be lying if I said it was. We all know it's not as good. It's great representation of Ahsoka from the show, but not necessarily a great representation of Rosario Dawson. But because I prefer the outfit and it reminds me of that particular episode, that source material, I'm not going to upgrade to this one because I did not like the Ahsoka show and I don't prefer this outfit. However, the head sculpt on this is undeniably better. The neutral one, it does look more like Ahsoka. And I'm hoping, I think they fixed the elbows issue. I know I didn't have the elbows issue on mine. When I say I didn't have it, I mean they're not broken, but I recognize they're really stiff, so I'd be really careful moving them. They're not good joints, like they're really stiff, and I have to be really careful at moving them, and it shouldn't be that much of a problem just to repose a figure. They're supposed to be articulatable, but this one, it's a superior figure. I think I just don't particularly subjectively care for the outfit and didn't care for the show, so I'm happy enough what I have.
All right, sounds good, Shane. I think that's a good, reasonable approach. Payne, how about you? You collect Star Wars as well?
Yeah, so for me, Star Wars is more about Rebels and Clone Wars than the movies, because that's just what I grew up on. And
yeah,
Ahsoka season,
but
You're right, but Ahsoka season 2 is basically Rebel season. Sorry, Ahsoka season 1 is basically Rebel season 5. So yeah, my dumbass bought everything.
Oh, so when you were saying TV shows, you meant Ahsoka as well, and you went down the full line, the Balins
Almost.
and the
No, I didn't
Wow.
buy Merrick, and there's some sub characters I didn't bother getting, but I got all the main ones. So Balin and Ahsoka, and fucking love Sabine. I thought the Sabine live action casting was great.
That's a beautiful figure too.
And then I'm waiting for Shin. And I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't give us Ezra. Like that makes no sense to me. So I'm still waiting on an Ezra. Yeah.
Yeah, Ezra was a silly omission for sure, considering how many other characters we got.
Right, they did everyone else except him. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Exactly. Jose, where are you at with this one?
So I don't have this one on order. I have the original, and I think I'm going to stick with the original, despite this being a clearly better version. Obviously, with the likeness, of the improvements with the metal, joints that they added on, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think I'm okay. I did consider it at one point because of the multiple head sculpts. I thought I'm like, maybe I could use one of the head sculpts for the other one. But again, going back to the not buying doubles, I usually don't. So I feel like if I bought this one, I might want to sell the other one. And I actually tend to like the darker suit more myself as well, from that Mandalorian episode. So I think I would just stick with that, unfortunately. So yeah, I'd really like this though. I think it looks really good. But yeah, I couldn't justify buying another version of this character.
Yeah. So I kind of was the same way. I was considering this one for a long time because I love that Mandalorian version. Like Shane was saying, the appearance was great. She was so badass in it. The costuming looks incredible. This show I didn't necessarily love, but I've actually purchased a lot more figures from the show than I anticipated, just because they were actually really good figures. This likeness, though, I think that's what sold this version for me, or sold me on this version, because just so much more Rosario than the previous one. So if I've got to do some head swaps, I'm totally happy to do that.
It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. 1/6 lovers or whatever they said. Yeah,
different connector though, right? But I think you can make it fit. I'm sure you could find a way.
They were saying it was really hard, and then like there's a gap if you try to switch it or something. Okay. I don't know, but
yeah, that's unfortunate. So I guess I'll have to see what my options are when it gets. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay displaying it as is. Worst case scenario, I did buy from Fusion Reactors one of the sabers or two of her sabers. They're not cheap, right? Do you have any of those at all, Payne? Yeah, so Fusion Reactors.
No, I'm too lazy to do any of that.
That's right.
Whatever in the box is all I do.
That's right. That's normally how I am too, because I'm like, these figures cost too damn much to be upgrading with $100 plus sabers. But I'm seeing more and more videos of Shane's CCFLs, and I was like, you know what? I purchased some Fusion before, so I'm gonna just see how these turn out in hand. I think they're supposed to run a bit cooler.
Sorry, when you get them in, if you need any help or suggestions hiding the cords, it might be harder if you're putting them into what's behind you, because that's white and the cords are black. But just let me know. I could just some maybe tips I might give you, because when you get them in and you spend it could take you between getting the pose on, getting them installed, and getting them set up and stuff. It could take you a long time to get them to that stage. But when you get them in, especially if you can hide the wires a bit, and when they click on, it's just like, oh, so worth it. Never posing that figure again, but absolutely worth it. Yeah.
I will absolutely take you up on that. No, so I have some Maja cases over here on this other side, some 6110s that I may have purchased from a certain someone on this stream. So with the black background, it makes it a little bit easier to hide the wires.
Yeah, I would have no problem, man. It's going to be easy street.
There you go. A little bit easier, but I definitely need some tips here. So let's see. So yeah, I'm definitely getting this one. We'll see which where I put the sabers, either on the Mando version or this one. Really quickly, Big Rib is saying, I actually like Ahsoka's outfit better from Mando. Yeah, so kind of echoing what we've said. Vita's saying, she looks a little bit like an Oompa Loompa. No, definitely. I mean, we're coming through pretty low resolution, but there's some Oompa Loompa vibes for sure with this one. Looking like this. Like, this is incredible. You could definitely hide the wires pretty easily with the shot.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Figurecraft Philly in the house saying, "I'll make it happen. There's always a way. We'll have to modify it though." Let's see. Oh, I think he was having a conversation with someone else there. So, Larry Walker saying, "Good to see you again." Yeah, it's been some busy few months, but I'm happy to be back over here. Jim Collector saying, "I hear the head sculpts are swappable, so that's good if you wanted to have the new sculpt on the older figure." Okay, so Jose the fact checker saying something different. I'm going to trust Jim a little bit more though. Plus that's the answer that I want to have. So Jim, thanks for that.
That Philly corrected him, telling him that
okay,
if you look at
see.
He tells him right there. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can make it work. Philly says he's going to try to do whatever he can to make it work, and I'm sure there's a way, right? So
I'm just going to ignore you and Philly because that's not the answer I want. So we got Collector Joey in the house. No, appreciate the conversation. What's going on, Joey? Good to see you, bro. Let's see who else we got. All right, Jim saying, "Don't trust me, don't trust me more." And you know what? I trust you more, Jim. I trust you more. All right, so that is it for that. And so I'm going to just finish up here with one last topic, as we like to do on Bargain Bin Bros, with a little bit of speculation. So, Shane, I know this doesn't impact you at all, right? The increased costs, but you're buying from Sideshow, right? So potentially there could be some additional cost tacked onto that. How often are you buying from Sideshow? Are you going to change your buying habits? Is there anything that you're doing to adjust to all the craziness in the world?
To be honest, I don't really buy from Sideshow. The only thing that I bought is I've hopped on the waitlist for pretty much every artisan that has gone to waitlist just to see do they convert or not. Sometimes they convert and I offer them to friends. Sometimes they convert and I just throw them back in the water because I don't want them. Or in the case of Anakin, I bought it because, it was just the one to get and I can do the giveaway and stuff. So I don't really buy from Sideshow because it's just too goddamn expensive between shipping. You're talking $50 for a standard 6 scale and then tack on about €130 for customs or whatever. So or import tax, VAT, sorry. All of the above. So I don't think it's going to affect me as much because, I don't buy it that often for starters, and then second of all, I typically get all my figures direct from Line Rock, so I believe when stuff crosses the US border, that's when the tariffs come into play. Whereas if I'm buying from Hong Kong, it's coming straight from Hong Kong to Ireland. So if Hot Toys keep their price to get the same at source, and your increase in prices coming from things getting imported to the US, I don't think I'm going to be affected. You could argue that if the money Hot Toys makes from Sideshow is so big and that the prices and the tariffs put collectors in the US off collecting and buying direct from Sideshow, that Hot Toys, if they notice a decrease in their profit margins, they may start increasing their figure costs, and then it may affect me. That could be a big stretch, but I'm just thinking, I don't know, does it work like that? Does it not?
It's all interconnected, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll affect my collecting habits too much because I do my best to not buy a figure I can see myself selling in 3 months. Do we always get it right? Absolutely not. But there you go.
All right, well said, Shane. And yeah, you should name your channel something that kind of speaks to that strategy, right?
I'll try.
All right, good. Jose, and we're gonna finish off with Payne, but Jose, and I want to hear from everyone in the chat as well. Are you making any adjustments? Are you just kind of waiting to see how things play out? How's everyone feeling right now? So, Jose, how are you feeling right now? Are you making any adjustments to your collecting?
I was slightly concerned reading about it, but again, I didn't know all the details. And as Payne was explaining earlier, it's kind of, we have to see kind of how everything plays out, and see things might be different within the month or so. So once things settle, maybe hopefully things are a little bit better, within a span of a couple of weeks or even months. I don't know how long this will take. But let's say it is a significant jump and then affects us, then at that point again I would need to consider canceling pre-orders, maybe selling some couple things if I want other things more. So definitely things to think about and consider. For now, I'm staying tight. I'm going to see how things play out and then kind of just go from there.
Smart, Jose, smart. So let me say my strategy, and then we'll kick it to Payne, since he's both a collector and a seller as well. You know, we kind of went through this a few maybe months or weeks back in terms of like the tariffs with Mexico and Canada, and then things were kind of postponed, and then more were levied on. So these things are so, I think Payne was saying this, they're so subject to change right now that it's hard to start freaking out. And I think I am seeing a lot more freakouts right now than when we dealt with it the last time. And so I think folks are definitely feeling a little stressed out by it, and we just don't know what's going to happen. It definitely doesn't seem like good signs that are occurring, but all these things could change within a day or a week, or they could be negotiating strategies that ultimately get pared back. And I'm sure companies will adjust, because there's only so much wiggle room everyone has in their budget for these luxury goods, right? So there's got to be adjustments made. So maybe some of the costs will be passed on to collectors, but I couldn't, folks are speculating, well, now these figures are going to double. I don't think that they're going to double, just because there's then I don't think it becomes a market that anyone can actually partake in. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see is where I'm at. I'm definitely considering, pre-orders that I've got, thinking about figures, do I need them or not? But we should be doing that all the time anyway. So yeah, not making too many adjustments right now, but definitely keeping an eye on how things evolve over the coming weeks and months. But Payne, where you at as a collector, and then as a seller? Obviously, you were giving us some insight as well.
Well, I mean, it's a collector, same as you guys, and just got to be a little bit more careful. But as a seller, again, like I will face this very soon. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to ship in the month of May, and that might be impacted. And then I don't think I have anything for a little while. So by the time I have something ready to ship, it's going to be completely different again. Because we're talking like now is April. I got a batch in May, and I mean I get another batch of I think the Michael Jackson is next that ships. That could be in July. So things will change. I would say that as far as like selling goes, I was always very lean. I only carry 1 or 2 extra units per SKU at most, so that's not going to change. But for now, like I haven't raised any prices or anything. I'm just keeping everything completely the same. I'm not going to actually even bring it up unless if I really get hit when something comes into port, then I will go back to my guys. Go, all right, guys, we're all paying an extra X amount because this is what happened, But until I don't even want to go there. Whatever I can absorb, I'll absorb. But then for now, we just have to wait and see. It's just like I said, it's changed so much in the last week. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Things are just evolving faster than we can keep up, right? I was trying to do research to see, because there was a vote in the Senate that has to go to the House, and I was just trying to find that information. I was like, I can't even sort out all the noise because there's just so much speculation, so much panic, right? Yeah. So it's like simple things that should be easily available, or not even able. I'm not even able to find them. So yeah, we'll just see. And I think that's the ultimate takeaway as a bargain bin bro. It's like, it shouldn't be measured to begin with already. But you got some more thoughts, Shane?
The tariffs haven't officially come in yet, have they?
They will be starting officially, I think on the 9th is when most of them are set to be in place.
But did you say, does the Senate have to vote to clear them or something?
I believe the Senate voted to block certain tariffs. I think it was related to Canada, and then the House will have to vote on that. And I'm not sure, in terms of the larger package, when that would go before Congress. But yeah, there's definitely checks and balances.
When you say block, does that mean they were like, okay, we're not going to tax or put tariffs on imports from Canada?
So I don't want to speak out of turn because I don't understand all the nuance, but from what I understand, it's maybe these newer tariffs, because there's obviously tariffs that are already in place. But I think these newer tariffs, and anyone in the chat help me out here as I struggle through this. But yeah, I think that they were voting to block those, and I think that it could go back onto the president's desk, and then ultimately he can veto, and then it's got to get a certain amount of votes more in order to pass. That's how I understand it, at least. So there are supposedly checks and balances in place for different branches of the government to weigh in on this, but
Yeah.
who knows? Those are working sometimes and not working other times.
Because if you look, without getting too into it or whatever, I'm just really skirting on because I don't want to get into the politics without side of things because I don't want to speak out of turn either. But if
This
you
right
imagine the tariffs are going to be put on foreign imports or overseas, as you call them, then a lot of other countries say I know that there's talk of like taxing pharmaceuticals that come from Ireland, which then the companies maybe won't sell as much to America, and that will affect their profits. Other companies that maybe trade with the US may go, well, you know what, we're not going to play nice with you now, and have some kind of a counter move for politics, so maybe the tariffs won't come through, or I don't know if they're...
That's what happened prior,
you know what I mean?
Shane, right? Like they were kind of used as a item for leverage against Canada and Mexico, but who knows? Who knows what the strategy is?
Sorry,
right
what
now.
did
We
you
don't
say
have
that
a
that's
lot.
what happened, what?
That's what happened with prior tariffs that were supposed to be implemented.
Right, oh, okay, yeah, I
with
got
Canada
you,
and Mexico,
yeah.
right? And then they said,
Yeah.
oh, now they've got an agreement
Yeah.
that they're going to pause it for 30 days. So
Yeah,
yeah, that
like,
is very, very possible.
I'll give you, give me 1 second and I'll find out. Give me 1 second. 1
I
second.
think just while he's doing that, just to kind of hopefully, calm the fears a bit, like you really don't have to worry about it until whenever your item is shipping and it's on the boat and it's hitting the port. That's the only time you actually, at that moment, that's when it's really going to matter.
Yeah.
And you might get lucky. That 54 might drop back down to 20 or whatever. And there, like I said, there is not much pad, but most businesses will do their best to absorb as much as they can. So the pass on to consumers might be a small amount. We just don't know yet. It's just really too difficult to say. But again, you don't worry about it until, if your figure is shipping from Hong Kong in July, you're going to worry about it when it actually gets on the plane, but not right now. But if you're buying from Sideshow in the US, that comes on boat container anyway, and that part is already factored in differently. So the US is going to charge you from Sideshow. It's going to be completely different than if you buy it from Hong Kong. And it's actually, again, until their shit actually is something that you pre-ordered that is releasing, that gets on the plane at that time, and it hits the port here, that's the only time you can worry about it. So for now, there's just so much fluidity that you're going to worry yourself into nothing. So
That's
it's going to change next week.
It's
I promise
like
you,
it-
because everything I worked on this week completely got rerouted. So next week I got to figure out what the new rules are. So
There's a great song by an Irish band called The Villagers, and it has this line in it. I waited for nothing, then nothing arrived. And it's kind of like this, like, so it's, if, like, just what I was Googling there is, Ireland, like, during the noughties, specifically Dublin, like, had so many tech companies had their HQ there, or branches. So we had, like, Apple, Google, Facebook, you name them, all those like tech companies that sprung up, whatever, kind of, some in the noughties, some are tech companies before that, whatever. They sprung up in Ireland and located in Ireland, like Dell were there, Intel, all this stuff, like, and because there's a few reasons, like it's the kind of it's the first, if you're going from America to Europe, it's the first country essentially you meet. It's kind of, from Dublin you can fly anywhere in Europe for only a matter of 4 hours, like, a few hours is simple. The location, the workforce, has a good education system, but probably the biggest one was this bloody tax, like really low tax incentives for those companies to set up there. It's good for them because there's, they don't have to pay as much tax. It's good for Ireland because they've all these companies that provides employment and stuff like that, yada yada. So anyway, Apple, the European Court of Justice ordered Apple to pay back over 13 billion in taxes to Ireland.
Holy shit.
The Irish government fought with the European Union or Court of Justice because not to take it. Meanwhile, there's a homeless crisis, there's a housing crisis, there's a cost of living, and all the like normal people are going, what are you doing? However, maybe if they have to Apple pay that money back, then the ECB do the same thing, or maybe there's other companies that owe money as well, and they all go, you know what, Ireland isn't for us, and move out. So it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's mind blowing.
It's incredibly complex stuff for sure. So yeah, but that homeless crisis, the housing crisis, is definitely not.
It's not just our
happening
thing.
all around the world, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
definitely scary times. But I think Payne said it really well. Mike is saying it here. It's all too fluid to really wrap your head around. Yeah, that's could change tomorrow for sure. Gio is saying, really quickly want to go back to this from Philly. Shane, you'll be more confused if you ask me. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm sure whoever heard me give my synopsis was like, what the fuck is even going on? Gio is saying, Congress is attempting to pass a bill to require the authorization of on Congress as well to impose new tariffs. Not sure where they are at this particular point. It's all very much up in the air. Let's see. We got a question from Vita. Shane, how many tattoos do you have?
Ooh.
I got 3. So I got like just like it's kind of a half sleeve, and then got that one in Lebanon, and then got that one in New Zealand. The last just gone. So 3.
Nice, man. Okay, plans to get more? Oh, I know. Payne's got. How many? You got?
Not tattoos just happen. I don't really plan them. It's like
nice.
Yeah.
This is something that happens. Guys, we're going to finish up on one last figure just so we can shit on it, because we just got to have a little fun. This is, for me personally, one of the worst repaints I think I've ever seen since I've been in this hobby. But guys, is anyone intrigued by this? Like, does anyone think this looks good? I'm sorry, I don't think this looks good in any way. What do you guys think?
This is like when you exercise and you're wearing maybe like some sort of a chain, or like some sort of a, you know, like some people wear like a jade stone or something with a cord or something, and maybe a ring or something important to them, and you exercise so much and it kind of wraps up around your head, and he's got covered in, he's got like why has he got rope around his head? That's what I'm trying to say.
And I get this is based on concept, all right, but Jose, before
it's Moon Knight Mall.
It's the mashup we never knew we needed, for sure. Yeah. Oh man, Jose, tell me one thing. Why I'm a fool for not appreciating this. Go ahead.
Are you talking to Jose?
No. Go ahead, Shane.
Like, if I had to buy a mall and Jose wants me to, this is definitely not the mall I'll be getting. It'd be the prequels one, the actual mall that was cool.
Actually cool mall.
Yeah, I can't sell you on this, Marco, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, it is based on some concept art that was done, previously for the Phantom Menace. But yeah, I mean, it's perfect for exclusive, right? If you don't mind it and it's cool enough for you, and you want to have something exclusive, go for it, go crazy. But as one of the biggest malls fans there is, I mean, I've talked about this a couple of times, but I stood in line 6 hours to meet Ray Park once, no, not even me. So I'm good.
Not even you, okay. Mike is saying the horns on his head are feathers in the concept art. Why they changed them to dog penises is beyond me. Yeah, the horns even. it just
Mike, are you looking at a lot of dogs to know exactly how it looks?
Philly is saying not a lot of people realize we almost got this version of Maul. The only reason he wears black robes is because he needed it to move more freely with his martial arts. Well, thank goodness. Good. Yeah.
Good to know.
Thank goodness we did not get this version. And maybe he would have looked cooler on screen, but and then just like the contrast between the neck too, just like nothing seems to fit right in my opinion. And I think you're right. Whoever said it's perfect for an exclusive. Yeah. This is the type of thing we want as an exclusive. Like this just looks goofy. It looks like photoshopped on a different body, the Moon Knight body.
But if there's some people who just, they're Star Wars completionists, and if you put a Star Wars logo on it, they'll just buy it. Like, I mean, that Stormtrooper with the flowers on it, if they were shit emojis, and it was called Shit Emoji Trooper, Star Wars exclusive, 1500. People would still buy it.
Stop giving them ideas. But honestly, the cherry blossom trooper looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ooh,
That's
ooh.
infinitely more cool than this one in my mind.
You want the Diddy Party Stormtrooper, right?
Diddy Party Stormtrooper. There you go. Clinton is saying this thing looks cool, like it should be from the Old Republic, but the head is not the business. Head swap is an order, whether a Maul or another head from a Jedi.
Ooh.
Yeah, just for some reason it just looks cobbled together. Like obviously they took the latest Maul sculpt and then threw some shit on it. It just doesn't look good. I'm sorry, it doesn't look good. For whoever is excited, good for you, but not for me. Not for me. So guys, with that, I think we had a really robust conversation. Lots of people in the chat today, so really good time. Before I forget, I want to plug one of our friends here, Ray from Hawk Wars Toys. Hooked me up with the Spider-Man 2099. So yeah, Ray always sends a comic book and lots of other goodies with his orders. So shout out to Ray. Really appreciate him getting this order to me at a great price and really quickly. So really good dude. Jose, I'm gonna start with you. What do you have coming up on the channel or other people's channel?
Well, not much. In terms of, I've been wanting to do a couple more reviews. I haven't done them, so I'm working on them. So there's a couple things. Last one was Supergirl, which is a great figure, so I did that one. I try to be on Shane's show when I can on Mondays. On the Hope Show. I'll be on Geo's
soon too. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
you definitely should. I'm gonna be on Geo's show tonight. So it's his 50th episode tonight. So wanted to join him, so I'll be there with him for the 50th episode. And then big news, we have our episode 4 locked in. If you don't mind me bringing up the graphic here.
Please do.
Hopefully I
Please
can do that. Here we go. Here
Guys,
it is.
I'm sorry, I gotta run. So
Go ahead,
Oh,
Payne.
Payne,
Thanks for joining us, man.
Before
today.
you
I
run, anything
appreciate
that
you
you
guys.
want to plug at all, bro?
nah.
All right. Well, really appreciate you being on today. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend.
Appreciate you guys.
See you, Payne.
Later, bro.
Yeah, just long story short, we have a date for episode 4. It's coming back on the 26th of April. You and me will be there, and I believe we have our competitors locked in, which I will go ahead and share on Geo's show today. So if you're interested to see, we'll have that, and we'll have that on the socials as well. So if you guys like the show, it's coming back on the 26th.
Awesome. Looking forward to that one. Definitely check out Geo's show tonight and hear who the contestants are. So, Shane, what do you have coming up on your channel?
Cheers for the invite, Mike. Marco, good to see you and good to chat to Jose and Payne. It was good, man. We just need a Joao and the Ben Thomas show again, so hopefully
we might be able to do AI of them soon too, right?
Yeah,
we might not
definitely.
even actually need the real things. We can just
100%. So what's coming up? So the Hope Show returns as usual on Monday, so at 8 p.m. my time, Greenwich Mean Time, or 3 p.m. Eastern Time, or midday West Coast time, Pacific. John Wick 4 is coming in, and a dog, which I'll be reviewing his custom dog, so that'll be interesting. I'm going on a quest to find those custom hands, so looking forward to that. Might even pick up some sort of an armory as well for him, so looking good and looking forward to that.
Oh, really?
And of course, we will be giving away that Artisan Anakin Skywalker. So if you want to enter that, so you have to be when I get delivered it, I will tell you what episode of the Hope Show it's on. And if you're a member on that night, you'll be automatically entered. And if you want to be part of that, go onto my channel, go onto any video and drop a super thanks or a super chat on any live show. So yeah, and all of the entrants so far, I've seen them all. YouTube captures all that stuff, and I have them all jotted down, so it's going to be fair. But we may have 100 ducks in that race, and if I can't do that, I need to find some other platform to do a random selection. But looking forward to it. Someone's getting a free figure, so yeah.
Very cool that you're doing that, Shane. That's really exciting, and looking forward to seeing who wins that bad boy. So one last thing I want to plug really quickly. So tonight, and I'm hoping to be on, but I've got a family dinner. But tonight on P Rockzilla's channel. So let me pull this up really quick. We got LWO. So, you know, I've been very inconsistent with, you know, streams on my channel, on collecting weekly, on making LWO, but always want to plug the homies when I get a chance. So yeah, check us out. LWO, P Rockzilla's channel. I think 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. So should be a good, crazy time per usual. And then check out Collecting Weekly. I'm on there normally every Tuesday. So yeah, good time. So guys, thanks so much for the great conversation today. Thank you everyone in the chat. Really engaged chat today. If you wouldn't mind, go subscribe to Jose Plus. Go subscribe to 16Figure Focus. Check out Payne, you know, all the great work he's doing on his channel and at his shop. Thank you to the chat again. And with that, hope everyone has a great weekend. And we'll see you guys on the next Bargain Bin Bros, whenever that is. We'll see.
I'd buy that for $1.
Bargain Bin Bros. Select Fighter. Ben Thomas. Marco G. Big Red. Fotis. Money Mendez. Dean the Dream. Ox Pop.